In part 5 for chapter 1, we're going to talk about how to resize, insert, delete columns and rows. So as you saw before, whenever I selected all the information and changed the font size, sometimes your cell is only so wide and the text overruns it and you need to make it bigger. So again, you can click and highlight everything, or if you want to pick everything on the page, you can click this little half triangle button up in the corner and it'll click everything on the whole entire worksheet. So either way, highlight everything and let's change it back to that Arial black font that was really big. You'll notice that some of these run off the line, like Saturday. You can't see all of that word. So we're going to look at resizing rows and columns. Let's say we want to make column A wide enough that Paradise Lake Resorts fits in column A. You can hover over column A. If you get the arrow and click, it actually selects the column. But if you put it right on the border between A and B, you can resize the column. So just click and drag when you get that sort of two-way arrow there, and it resizes the column to be whatever width you want. And you'll notice that the width is changing as I move it back and forth. So you can make it exactly what you want it to be. You can also right-click on the column and click on column width, and then tell it you want it to be a certain number wide. There's another thing too that you can do that's a shortcut. Because Saturday is running off, we know column G needs to be wider. If you double click on the right hand side, it automatically adjusts to the width that it needs to be. You'll notice Friday, maybe you have resized it and it's way too big. If you double click on the right hand side, it resizes it and it fits it to whatever is the widest information in your column. So that's kind of just a neat little shortcut. The double clicking on the right hand side, that will resize your column automatically. You can do the same thing with the row. You get the two-way arrow, you can click and resize it there. You can right click and tell it you want it to a certain height, or you can double click and it fits it automatically. If you need to add or delete a row, you can right click and it will insert to the left. So if I right click on column B up at the top and say insert, it's going to put a new column in the same format. You'll notice the format painter, the same formatting as column A. It's going to be the same width, same formatting, and it's going to insert it between A and what used to be column B. So just right click on the letter, click insert, and it puts a new column in. Let's say we want to get rid of these two. You can either click one at a time or highlight both. Again, right click and then hit delete and it takes them away. Something really handy that not a lot of people know about is inserting rows. When you want to insert one row, again, just right click, click insert, and it puts it in. Sometimes you need to put in multiple rows, and it's not very fun to right click and insert and right click and insert over and over again. What you can do is click on the row with just a single left mouse click, hover over that fill cell. See the dark box in the corner and the cursor changes to the dark plus sign? If you hold down the shift key, see how the cursor changes again. So no shift, it's a plus, hold down shift, it's this little double bar. If you click and drag, it inserts as many rows as you want. And the same thing works with columns as well. When you hold down the shift key, you'll notice that you get the double bars, you can click and drag, and it inserts multiples. Typically I use this on inserting a bunch of rows because I've done a calculation here and a calculation here and I need to put a new calculation in between the two, or maybe some additional inputs. So again, if you want to delete rows, you can click and drag and hit delete, and that would be how you adjust your rows and columns.